command in the circle. Just great leadership, very routine oriented, and a lot of pitch to contact. You're not going to see her have a lot of swing and miss. She's going to use that defense behind her. And she's actually better against lefties than she is righty, and there's 7 of the 9 LSU hitters are left-handed, so that bodes well for Lauren Krings.
Also at stake today, both of these teams, their RPI and their KPI, a couple of pieces of information for the selection committee, are quite similar. So a head-to-head here at the SEC tournament could be significant, with the committee convening this weekend and the release of the bracket coming your way Sunday night on ESPN2. Both of these would be in contention for a top 8 seed, which means they could stay home for the regionals and the super regionals. What's the significance of that? Well, the home teams, the seeded teams, win about 75% of the time to advance to the Women's College World Series. Sierra Daniel is the DP, one of 7 lefties in the lineup for LSU today. Freshman out of Chandler, Arizona. A couple of impact freshmen in the lineup, but really the stewards of this LSU ship are their seniors and their grad students. Grounder to first, 1 down.
Take a look at Lauren Krings and how she gets her out. She really does attack the zone. She's got a great rise ball at the top. She can throw that ball in the high 60s to low 70s. And look at that rotation. She uses that 4-seam rise ball to get that late sharp break. She'll throw right up at your eyes, but she's also very good with her screwball and her curveball. Her best pitch where she gets her swing and miss is going to be her changeup. But one note, LSU has hit her hard in the past. She's going to need to adapt a little bit more. They've scored 25 runs off her in the last 18 innings that she has thrown. So the one thing that is good to know about Krings is she does have a lot of different tools. She can go screwball, curveball, up, and mixed speeds, and she's going to need to use all those pitches.
Sierra Briggs is one of those that has hit her well, almost 500 in her career against her, with a couple of extra base hits. Sierra's the senior out of Yorba Linda, California, an all SEC first teamer, hitting over 300, even more special with her glove work out in center field, where she's a 2-time Gold Glover. Chops it foul, and we got a softball that spilled out onto the apron. Gonna grab that and get it off the field. Beth Torina, 13th season with LSU, 4 trips to the World Series. She is their winningest coach ever. Trying to get a 500 record here at the SEC tournament.
One of the things LSU is known for is their plate discipline. One of the lowest strikeout percentages, high walks. One of the biggest things they have to do is pick the right pitches to drive.
Like that one, through the wickets of Daly at third. And a 1-out base hit.
Watch Briggs here slow everything down. 2 strikes. She slows down her foot speed. So the priority here wasn't so much about getting down the first baseline, but actually making sure that she was staying with the ball all the way to get barrel on it. 7th hit and 14 at bats versus Kring. She has done very well against her.
That brings up Mackenzie Rudity, the junior from Franklin, North Carolina. Mackenzie with a hit in both games so far against Alabama and Tennessee. She's also scored in both games. Nail biters, 1-run affairs. Popped up left side. Coming on is Cahalan, and Claire makes the catch. 2 down. They beat Bama in that 14-inning game in the first round that lasted nearly 4 hours, and then only needed 2.5 to take out Tennessee and send the 1 seed home. So the mayhem that is the SEC tournament continues. Only 3 times now in the last decade has the regular season champion won the tournament. It's been a bit of a free-for-all.
I think a lot of teams come in here, see it as an opportunity.
Ground ball to short. Jenna Laird is there. And Jenny Lynch, the senior from Noonan, Georgia, who started out her career at Washington, now back in the Southeast and in the circle. Kelly picked up the win against Tennessee to beat the 1 seed yesterday. They also have Sydney Berzon at their disposal. Sydney threw every pitch, over 200 of them in that 14-inning win over Alabama. Also showed up in yesterday's win briefly. Year in and year out, the Tigers always bring a good pitching staff. And for Missouri, well, it's an offense that doesn't rely much on the home run. They pass the bat, they pitch, they defend. They have to be good in all 3 phases to knock you out.
Yeah, their power is all about doubles, 80 doubles on the year, but you're right, just 35 home runs and some good speed.
Jenna's got 12 hits in her last 8 games and enjoying a really good tournament so far. 4 for 7, in fact. They did not get many at-bats against Lynch in the regular season series. And perhaps that went into the decision for Beth Torina, who, well, both these coaches really known for how they handle their pitchers.
Yeah, she got the win in Game 3 after having already lost the series up there in Mizzou. You know, it could have been a weather thing, too. You know, growing up in Washington, it's sometimes a little chilly. So you're up at Mizzou in the spring, you can have some cold weekends.
She's probably glad to be back closer to home in the warmer weather.
Yeah. And that is a thing. There are some pitchers that throw better in warm weather and others that throw better in cool weather.
Another 3-2 fouled off.
So, you know, we're particular.
Jess, I know a good friend of ours who you always used to practice throwing in the rain or throwing with wet softballs. Michelle Smith. We might have needed that yesterday.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sunshine today, which is a very welcome addition.
Prepared.
Laird sends that one out to right center. And under it is Briggs. 1 down.
Kelly Lynch has a lot of tools. She likes to move the ball around, but she really does attack the upper part of the zone. And she'll use a rise ball, but she also has a strike zone that she can manipulate. So here she's going a lot of down versus Tennessee. These are all of her strikeouts. And this is a Kelly Lynch that a lot of times you prepare rise ball, screwball, because those are the pitches she uses the most at 46 and 35%. But against Tennessee, she was able to use the pitches lower in the zone. She was a completely different look, came up with a really big win against Tennessee.
Well, and now, Smitty, more than ever, that's the scouting reports that you see is what these teams are relying on. They're guessing on those pitches. They know, hey, she's going to throw the ball up in the zone. We're going to try to see something, change our swing path, and she completely fooled them.
Here's Alex Honnold, the senior from West Des Moines, Iowa. Top 10 in the NCAA in both hits and doubles. Has now reached in 13 straight games. Her next hit will be the 200th of her career.
Ball.
Draws the walk. And a 1-out base runner here for Missouri.
That is the one part of Kelly Lynch's game. Those free passes can have a tendency to pile up. If she can limit those walks, she's definitely harder to touch up.
Gallagher 1 for 4 in that overnight game with Arkansas, drove in a run.
Kelly wants those called when she uses that screwball. She relies a lot on that pitch away to these lefties.
First couple of games for Missouri, they hit .222 with runners on base. Looking to cobble some things together for Larissa Anderson because that pitching staff has been so stout, just the one run allowed in each of their 2 wins. That's in play out towards Allie Newland and left. She's got it. That chases Honnold all the way back to first, 2 down. For Anderson and the Tigers, they were in the SEC final just a couple years ago. Lost to Arkansas. They are looking for their first SEC championship. It's another 40-win season for them. Here's Abby Hay, the freshman first baseman. Abby has a hit in each of the first 2 games. Held off the rise.
She's done a great job coming in. Played baseball until sophomore year in high school.
You watch her, though, even on her takes, and she just has that baseball type approach to her hitting. Dad played baseball at Missouri, and we'll see if she starts her swing. She kind of drops. Has that launch swing, and not just from launch in baseball, but a lot of times, you know, ball is coming down. You got to get underneath it. And
I like she gets her front foot down very early, helps steady your eyes, get you settled so you can get your barrel to the ball. I had to hit like that because I saw a lot of change-ups, and that was what helped me be able to see that pitch the best.
Umpires having a discussion. They're set. Marty Abazushin behind the plate. Tom Meyer and Paul Eds on the bases today. Full count. Hey, 258 on the year with runners on base. There you see your numbers so far in the tournament. Lays off it, and 2 walks already here in the first inning.
That's her 55th walk of the year in those 87 innings that she's pitched.
well, Kelly's got to adjust right now. You can see her frustration. She's showing it already early on, not agreeing with 3 of the calls actually in that last at bat. And at this point, just understanding the umpire's strike zone versus her own strike zone.
Stefania Bruscato out of Smithtown, New York. Player of the Year in New York State last year and a top 20 recruit. Big pickup for the Tigers.
Ball.
Also has a sister that plays softball at UConn in the Big East. It's in for a strike. Hey, did you guys see the news, by the way? We've got our first bid for the NCAA tournament. Congratulations to Southeastern Louisiana winning the Southland Conference Championship in a walk-off. Lexi Johnson, a 3-run home run. Lynch gets the swing and miss there. Couple on, courtesy of walks. Abrascato just $138 this year with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss, and Lynch bounces back to get the strikeout to end the threat. A couple stranded.
We should all adopt that theme because it's perfect for Beth Mowins. Can't be crazy.
I love it.
I was going to say there's a lot of crazy in the booth up here.
Poster child up here.
Can't beat crazy.
I love it.
Fabulous from the Tigers and Beth Torina.
Letting them be themselves, too. Just not worried about what everyone else thinks. Let your personality shine. They do that in Baton Rouge pretty darn well.
Yeah, they know how to throw it down. Here's Taylor Pleasance. 2 wins for LSU. She's got 2 game-winning RBIs, including that walk-off in the 14th to beat Bama. 5, 6, 7 coming up. You got to be ready for a little bit of crazy, too, when you've had the roller coaster ride of a season that LSU had. They start out the year 24-0. They're the last unbeaten team in the country. But then they finish 14-14. And now 2-0 here in the SEC. Flared out to left. Claire Cahalan's got it, 1 down. They lost one of their stars, their third baseman, Danica Coffey, after just 16 games. And so there have been some highs and lows, but they are quick to point out, guys, 2017 was the last time they played in the SEC Championship and went on to the World Series. Their record in SEC play was 12-12, exactly the same as this year. They got hot in the postseason, and they're heating up again this year. Grounder to short. Newland retired. 2 down.
Everyone talks about the bat of Danica Coffey and how much they've missed her offense, but to me, in that struggle time of their season, take a look at Danica right there. It's been the defense, what she can do at third base, and how many different players we've seen try to fill that void. 3 different players, including a player that was supposed to redshirt. They had to bring out as a freshman. She's been a force that they definitely have missed, but are learning to move on and move through.
Well, you certainly feel for her, especially knowing that so many of her teammates are going to be gone next year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grad students in their lineup today. And then the 4-year senior, Allie Newland, as well. Macy Bajaran. We'll get back on play. LSU 5 times the SEC tournament champs, but it's been a while. 2007 under former coach Yvette Girard. And the last time they played in the championship, 2017, their 11th SEC final. So they are itching to get back. Swing and a miss, and a 1-2-3 inning for Lauren Krings. Set start of the WNBA season. Big double dip on Tuesday. That'll give you a couple of days to, start working on your softball bracket, which will be unveiled on Sunday night. 2 hours of coverage starting at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. Holly?
Well, I actually got to go to the Full Court Press premiere in Indianapolis last week, and I saw the first episode, and I'm just going to tell you, it's unbelievable. The access is incredible. I learned a lot about Caitlin, and I've been covering her all year, but importantly, as we see a high fly ball there, foul ball. The story of Camila Cardoso, there was a lot of information in this documentary I didn't know, and I'm just going to tell you, I was weeping in the audience listening to her story, leaving home from Brazil at 15 years old. So you've got to watch it. This is just unprecedented access for the women's game and very compelling stories.
Fabulous. Good little sneak preview right there as Crenshaw pops it up. Pleasance under it. One down. 6, 7, and 8 here in the order for Missouri.
I appreciate the athletes that give that kind of access, because it isn't easy. It's a lot. You're letting your kind of guard down, letting people in. How important it is, though, for other female athletes to see it.
Here's Kara Daly out of Jeff City, Missouri. 1 for 5 so far here at the SEC tournament. It's hit by the pitch. So 3 base runners, Michelle, all of them free passes.
Yeah, and that's really been the nemesis for Kelly Lynch. Those 55 walks now in the season, hit batters, that one going off of the hand, that never feels good. We see him go off the arm guard a lot.
There's a good look at Larissa. Over 300 wins now at Missouri in her 10th season after success at Hofstra. Cahalan, fly ball to left.
Well, this is something they worked hard on, Beth, was situational hitting. You know, get a runner on first, try to be able to move them over. It's been a focus really the last 2 weeks. You see the fly out there and a little bit of a frustration from Larissa, because that's what she said they honed in on. They were playing so many games. She's like, we didn't have time to practice. So I made sure that that's what we focused on, situational hitting, because it's what we'll need in the tournament and in postseason.
0 for 3 now, trying to advance a runner, and 4 of the 5 outs have been cans of corn.
Yeah, and I put it on my score sheet, non-productive outs, NPOs, and you know, those are the things that you gotta have if you want to put people in the scoring position. You know, you're not always going to be asked to sacrifice, but at some point, you know, your job is hit the ball right side, try to move them up 60 feet. And sometimes that is tough, you know, Jess. If you're a right-handed hitter and you're thrown on the inner half, it is tough to try to go the opposite way, but it's just about, I think, mindset as well. Are you chasing a rise ball up? There's a good chance that's going to induce a pop-up.
And that's, I think, something Larissa wanted to focus on with the pressure is, hey, not just situational hitting, but the execution of it, not just going through the motions.
And the thought process of it before you even get in the box, understanding the situation. What are the outs? Where are my teammates?
(3-1) to Kaylee Langer.
Wow, that was big.
Another walk. And that'll turn it over to the top.
Yeah,
Brings up their hottest hitter right now, Jenna Laird. And this is something Larissa talked to us a lot about, was she is swinging such a good bat. She kind of struggled earlier. She's had some back pain, hasn't really been able to get her body into a position. Larissa was saying this week, oh, look out, because she's starting to feel it. And we saw that, was that yesterday? All the days are running together.
Yesterday, part 1 of the game. Part 2.
Yesterday, part
morning.
1. Yeah. Tigers of LSU, right? The only team in the semis that hasn't played already today. And quickly the pitch count gets up over 40 here, and we're only in the bottom of the second. So Laird's been good all year with 2 outs and with runners in scoring position. Chance here to get Missouri out in front. Flew out to center her first time up.
Wow, you don't see that very often.
No. She was so patient, too, the first 2 pitches, and then the one in the dirt, which clearly she was sitting something low.
Second inning in a row with a couple on base for Missouri trying to cash in. Laird grounds it to second and a race to the bag, and just in time to get her as Petty took a major risk there. And I think she is on to hit here. In the spot where Madison Manning was penciled in 8, 9, and then the top. Kelly on the season, 214, the batting average. All SEC second team selection for the former National High School Player of the Year. And a strikeout for Lauren Krings, one down. That's her second in a row.
Yeah, Krings is so good with that changeup. She just really can throw this pitch at different speeds, but most importantly is that she has a 40% whiff rate on that pitch, so she gets a lot of swing and miss with that changeup when she does use it, and she will use it back to back like she did there to Kelly Lunch.
Hitter's just hitting a $177 against that pitch.
Ball.
And a lot of them don't pick it up, Smitty, because of the way that she releases it. And that's what I've seen this tournament. The changeup has definitely been the pitch, but it's the sell of the changeup, the deception of the fact that it looks a lot like her curveball, which you think is a lefty's coming in on you.
Ball. Upstairs to Petty. Carly in her second year at LSU after transferring in from Oklahoma State. 0 for 9 so far in the tournament. And that comes in and hits her. Free pass for the number 9.
Tuesday night, Tim Walton was telling us about trying to do more team activities. That's a heck of a team activity.
Boy, everybody else better look out. They are getting hot at the right time. The Florida Gators are. They're coming up next against Texas A&M. You know, the Aggies will be sky high coming off of their walk-off win earlier. And the fact that Florida skunked them to end the regular season, swept them down in Gainesville.
Such a different vibe here, though, and we've already seen that in the replay of matchups because, first of all, players understand, okay, we're in postseason. That's kind of the mentality. Wipe off everything that's happening before. You're not facing a team three times in a row. It's one time you lose, you're done.
Sierra Daniel grounded out to first, back in the first inning. Nice catch up on the concourse. Everybody loving that the sunshine's back out. Does make things a bit sticky. 1-2 in the dirt.
And how about the field crew here at Auburn, right? Working
bravo.
to get this. The field was actually so dry they had to water it before this game. Yeah, I was actually impressed.
Oh, it was
I was
tarped.
Yeah, but
5 inches of rain overnight.
now they're working on
They're working on their swing and other things. Yeah.
Not a hammock.
Foul ball. Yeah, so we've had 2 14-inning games. Lengthy games, lengthy weather delays, all the rain overnight. The thunderstorms that had Mendoza freaking out a little bit in a room at the hotel last night.
I mean, the bed moved. That's a whole nother level of thunder.
Scoreless in 19 of the last 23 innings, looking for a breakthrough. And that'll drop on the grass out and left for Sierra Daniel.
And that's what you want. When your number 9 gets on via a free pass and your leadoff comes up and can dump a ball out onto the green like Daniel can. It's a recipe to try to put some runs up on the board. Really good job of crossing over, taking that pitch on the outer half and just plunking it the opposite way. Really good bat control.
First runner in scoring position for LSU, and here's Sierra Briggs, singled in the first. A rocket right to third. Smashes that one foul.
So versatile. She's got so many options. You can see that with LSU. I don't see it as much in the game. The top of the order, ability to slap, bunt, hit away for some power, some pop.
0-2. Send it down to Holly.
Well, Sierra Briggs has been a terrific player all year for LSU, but the really cool thing happened today. First team All-SEC for the first time. She's had a team high in hits, runs, stolen bases, just a terrific season for her. And but it was the first time she has been given that honor, All-SEC first team.
Yeah, now in her 5th year, she's a .350 career hitter. Right to the third baseman. Daly fires over to first. Double play, Missouri.
It's a 40-win season. They've kind of had some ups and downs in the middle of the season, but they are putting it together when it matters the most, headed towards postseason.
Yeah, doing a good job of really backing up a good pitching staff that's very diverse, can go in a lot of different directions. Part of the reason they can survive some of those close games.
Here's Alex Honnold, 2-3-4. Yeah, all the awards coming out. Dominated by Tennessee and Florida. Player of the Year was Jocelyn Erickson. The Freshman of the Year, Keegan Rothrock for the Gators. And then Tennessee picked up Pitcher of the Year in Carlin Pickens and the Coach of the Year in Karen Wheatley. We'll be talking about Florida coming up in our second game against Texas A&M, and we'll be talking about Tennessee on the selection show Sunday night. Is this the year that they break through? They've been oh so close. They're on that short list of programs like Oklahoma State and Texas. Even put LSU in there that have been there knocking on the door a little bit, looking for that first national championship. Oklahoma has won 3 in a row, but there have been moments of vulnerability around the Sooners, and hope abounds for the rest of the country that somebody can knock them out. As the mayhem continues, we've already seen a ton of upsets in these conference tournaments. Do they matter? Well, apparently they do, because Virginia Tech's loss, they dropped 4 spots in the RPI. Arizona's win over Washington, they rose 5 spots in the RPI. Yeah, so even this late, there can be movement.
Well, I feel like there's more movement late than there is early, right? Because that RPI starts to really hone in with your opponent's average or opponent's opponents, right? All those things that make up the RPI.
Strikeout of Honnold. 1 down.
Second strikeout for Kelly Lynch. Screwball in the outer half, and that's why she's so good against lefties, is that she can expand that zone. She gets that ball to corkscrew out, and that will run away from the bat. That's the reason why lefties have a hard time with that pitch. They reach for it, and they miss it.
Here's Maddie Gallagher. This is significant for both these clubs, because if you look at the super regional host bubble, a top 8 seed, well, both these schools would be in the conversation. Missouri right now has the head-to-head as Gallagher lets it rip. Back it goes into the trees and out of here. Solo home run for Maddie Gallagher.
The bats have been quiet for Missouri in this game. In fact, all the base runners reaching on hit by pitches or walks. A lot of patience. Maddie Gallagher hunting rise ball. Look at her get to this pitch. Steps close, but her eyes start to get big. The key is she keeps a flatter bat path to the ball, lifts after. Beautiful job getting to contact, hitting this one out.
Yeah, that's an inside pitch. She's typically working the lefties away and then comes back, like you said, just with that inside rise ball, and she just tattooed that.
Their first,
0-1.
yeah, their first hit of the game, and it's a home run for a 1-0 lead.
You know, I think it's okay to come inside, especially when you're ahead, but you've got to get that a little further out of the zone.
Gallagher's first home run since March 16th versus Tennessee. Been a bit of a drought for the 3-hitter who's led this team in the long ball.
Yeah, just a 36th home run of the year for this Missouri club.
Hit that one about 250.
That's one of Missouri's biggest things too, is they're big on the exit velocity. They've got the metrics at home. That last home run, about 72 miles an hour off the bat. Just kind of, I'm telling you, like, as a hitter, if you know and understand, like, okay, hit the ball hard, well, what does that mean? And when you can understand what different swings do and the result based on that, that's what exit velocity is, and that is something Missouri is really honed in on for their hitters this year.
Lefties had been 0 for 6 prior to that against Lynch. Woo! Hey. Chases. 2 down.
Well, and that's the rise ball that she needed to throw the location, right, Jess? I mean, that's one thing about the rise ball. It is a feast or famine, and this is feasting, getting a hitter to chase it out of the zone.
That looked and sounded like an angry rise after the home run ball. 2 down, and here's Zabruscato. Winner advances to the SEC championship game tomorrow evening against Florida or Texas A&M. And finally, I think the humidity and all the foul weather had something to do with keeping the balls in the park the first few days. Not the case today. Of course, we also had Georgia and Florida playing. Holly, what you got for us?
Well, you're talking about the exit velocity of Maddie Gallagher, and Jess, it's actually really true. They had some problems with her last year. Her exit velo was not good, but they really say some of it is because she hadn't really gotten into the strength room like she needed to. She has done a great job lifting weights, getting stronger, and her exit velo is actually up because her body is stronger.
Yeah, the percentages, Holly, go up. That's what we're being able to tell now with those exit velocity numbers. If you've got anything above 66 miles per hour as an exit velocity, you're talking batting average, slug, everything almost doubles. And that's the difference. So being able to identify that, Holly, with Maddie and understanding, okay, how are we able to maximize your strength, your power, really ultimately your body. And you can do that in practice and having those metrics. And she has increased her exit velocity by 15 miles an hour on average.
And a strikeout looking.
Well, Coach, I want to talk to you about the mindset of your pitcher right now. She gives up the home run and comes back with 2 massive strikeouts. How do you describe that mindset to flip it like that?
Yeah, that was cool. You know, try to have an answer for something like that when it doesn't go your way. She's a great competitor. I mean, she's like ice out there, right? Never any emotion, just keeps us in every ball game. So that was a cool answer, I thought.
You want your hitters to get going right here. I know you guys have had some long days at the ballpark. How do you get some energy right now in this 4th?
I mean, I think our offense needs to, like, bring some energy, right? Like, one this, one that, and I think we're right back in it. So I think that will kind of give us the energy if we can put some big swings on some pitches right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly and Beth Torina. We are at Jane B. Moore Field here at Auburn, Alabama, semifinals of the SEC tournament. 27th season this has been going on. We've had 7 different SEC champs in the last 9 years. It's been crazy. Mackenzie Rudity, 3, 4, and 5 due up. Rudity flew out to left first time around. Just a couple of hits and 1 hit batter, the only base runners. They've only had 1 runner in scoring position so far.
Let's see how LSU does second time through the order. Daniels got herself a base hit. Briggs with a hard shot, but right at Daly and got doubled off. So started off well. Second time through, seeing Lynch.
It is tough to break through against Missouri. Only 2 runs allowed on 8 hits in their first 2 games, and now Lauren Krings, just the 1 hit allowed thus far. Excuse me, 2 hits allowed just far.
Well, it's been the changeup that's gotten the most swing and miss. And LSU's actually been hitting the ball hard.
Rudity golfs that one to first. Hay is there, 1 down. One down, it's Raylene Gutierrez, a ground out to short back in the first. Out in front of that change.
So good with it. 40% wow. Season. Look at that tonight. She's at 60% whiff rate.
Oh, after that last swing, I mean, they're showing it multiple times until they start to adjust to it. And that's one of the beauties of Larissa Anderson being the head coach, but also the pitching coach. And we see that actually for both coaches in this game. But she said, our biggest objective as a staff is to disrupt timing. And that is why the changeup has become such an important pitch for Krings.
I like that pitch. Yeah, she's show it, but well ahead in the count, so you dump it into the dirt. Use it as a setup pitch.
One, 2 comes inside, rattled down the line and just outside the chalk.
Gutierrez is tough to fool. She's only got 1 swing and miss through the zone. 9 all year, so only 8 out of the zone. We were looking at her metrics on the 643 charts, and I'll tell you what, she does not miss a lot.
Yeah, she's got the best batting average this year. That one's away 2-2.
She missed big on the first pitch of this at bat. Yeah, and that tells you how good that changeup's been.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's only struck out 9 times all season.
LSU as a team, second best in the country. Lowest swing and miss. Just 10%, which is why coming into today's game, they only had 163 strikeouts offensively as a team.
Krings has got to be careful, though, with Gutierrez, though. She has owned her. Gutierrez has owned Krings, 7 for 10. 2 doubles, a home run.
Induces the ground ball. 2 down.
This is the hitter now, Taylor Pleasance. Beth, you already talked about her 2 game-winning hits to get to this point in the tournament. And we've talked about it all season long. It is her at-bats that matter so much for LSU's offense and how they're going to do.
First pitch swinging, and against Krings today, a couple of flyouts. It's another.
Anderson and Coach Anderson, Maddie Gallagher just stepped in, really gave you the lead and some juice. What did you see on that?
Great swing on a great pitch. She really attacked and utilizing the ground.
Kelly Lynch is throwing a variety of pitches right now. The rise ball has gotten a few people. What do you want them to kind of hone in on?
Have a plan. Like we can't look for everything and try to hit everything. We got to really zone in and maybe cut the plate in half, either vertically or horizontally.
This is the first time you guys have been in the semis. What is it like for your team today?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. It's exciting. We're just playing 1 pitch at a time and looking to win every single at bat.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.
Larissa Anderson and the Tigers taking on the other Tigers, trying to make a push from last to first. They were at the bottom of the conference a year ago, and a huge turnaround for them. And now trying to push their way back into the finals for the 3rd time. It would be the 2nd time in 3 years. They've got the 1-0 lead to the bottom of the fourth. 6-7-8 coming up. Julia Crenshaw popped up to short. Ball. Former Missouri High School Player of the Year. One for 5 so far here at the SEC tournament. Pulls that foul.
That is exactly what Julia Crenshaw was looking for. That screwball that Kelly Lynch will throw to righties. In fact, she almost doubles the usage when a right-handed batter is standing in the box. Her numbers are better against righties because of how successful that pitch is. You're in that box on the right side, you can expect it inside.
That's in for a strike. Full count. .209 on the year for Julia. 3 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Yanks that to short. Good backhand for Taylor Pleasance. 1 down.
Taylor Pleasance makes that look easy. I mean, there's a lot of shortstops that would try to get around this, but she's going to use that backhand. Good job of sliding, using the dirt. Looks back at it a little bit.
That was a no-look throw. Ball. Here's Cara Daly.
She almost slipped. That's what she was looking at. Like, where'd you come from?
Well, it's funny because a lot of MLB guys, right, they really they slide. That's part of their game coming through. We don't really do that as much because it's so quick. Yeah, it's interesting, the different fielding.
Daly out to left, 2 down. Well, Sunday, lots to talk about this coming week once the bracket is unveiled Sunday night on ESPN2 starting at 7 Eastern. 2 hours of coverage for you. Who gets to stay home? Who's on the road? Texas A&M making a push here in the tournament to grab one of those top 16 seeds. Aggies are on deck against Florida. Here's Claire Cahalan in the 8 spot. Fly out her first time up. They've struggled to keep it on the ground against Lynch. The one that did get up in the air got out of the yard. She's retired 5 of the last 6 with 3 strikeouts. And give her another one there. She gets Cahalan in a 1-2-3 inning. For a spot in the SEC championship game as we move to the top of the 5th. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe with you. First of our 2 semifinals, Florida, Texas A&M coming up. I think we might have a special guest coming up as well this inning. Here's Allie Newland to lead things off. 6-7-8 to face Lauren Krings, who's kept the bats quiet. Just the 2 hits allowed thus far and only 1 free pass. Now that's going to drop in fair. Newland thinking about 2, the throw. Not able to get her as she dives in safely with a double.
Well, this is interesting. Looking at where the defense is for Missouri, you can see where the outfield is way over, way shifted. And I love the way that Newland is going to be able to take this ball, yank it down the line, get that to drop in, seeing that play in front of herself, knowing that she's going to be able to reach second. This is all about knowing where you're hitting the ball and taking advantage of a little bit of the shift in the outfield to pick up a leadoff double.
Well, the changeup too. So I totally get the shift for an outfield, but you got to adjust on pitches.
Yeah, not on a changeup, right? You should be shifted the other way.
There's Macy Bajaran.
And it was back-to-back changeup. She was fooled on the first pitch was a changeup, came back, made a great adjustment.
They do have the digital signaling devices at their disposal this year, whether or not teams choose to use them. The pitcher here, Krings, is still using the armband. Bunt laid down. Krings over to first to get the out. Moves Newland over to third. The sacrifice for Bajaran, one away.
Wanted this one. Usually you see Caradeli over at third base take over, and Krings, they're laughing about it, but she's like, that was mine.
So the tying run now 60 feet away for LSU. And it's Madison Manning. She was pinch hit for before getting to swing back in the third, so her first time coming up. Healthy cut at it. 0-1. And that's a base hit, gonna drive in a run. She's gonna try for two. And she slides in safely. The RBI double for Madison Manning evens it at one apiece.
Look at the reacts from LSU. You guys, Madison Manning has been one of those stories. She was supposed to redshirt this year. They pulled her from the redshirt because they'd avoided third base. So Madison Manning, the freshman, has just stepped into this role. But what I love so much is not just the look that she gets and the double to tie this game, but then her teammates understanding how much she's meant. Look at their reactions coming out of the dugout.
Her first double of the year.
Her second RBI of the year.
Yeah, her first extra base hit of the year.
Her 12th game of the year.
Her 6th hit of the year. I mean,
look at those smiles. Oh.
That is fabulous. She is one of the three players that have tried their hand at third base, replacing the injured Danica Coffey. And a big moment for Madison. Holly?
Well, as you said, Madison's only played in 11 games, but she is a super smart player. She was a National Honor Society. She was in the biology club in high school, all-state, all-district MVP. She's a heck of a player, a smart little softball player. But, man, she's got an opportunity, and she is running with it in her 12th game of the season.
And now Carly Petty can add to that lead, Holly. Runner in scoring position, gets it to the right side to advance Manning over to third. And back to the top of the order.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because, you know, it was obviously more of a defensive move because of the 40 errors on the year that LSU has. The vast majority of those are on the left side of the infield. I believe it's somewhere around 35 of those 40 are on that left side.
To them is like, hey, let's just attack the zone. Let's go out there, make our ball dance, and change speeds.
Sounds great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly, with Tricia Ford, the head coach at Texas A&M. They're coming up next against the Gators. We've got a 1-1 game here in our first semifinal, and Marissa McCann is coming on in relief to try and end this rally. LSU looking to take the lead. That go-ahead runner at third base with 2 outs in the top of the order up.
Yeah, she was outstanding this morning, which was really yesterday's game. I guess they delayed until this morning. She came in a bases loaded situation, was incredible. Through 25 pitches, 21 of those pitches were strikes. I mean, the freshman is just nails. Along with Krings, they are a great combination back to back.
Gets the fly ball here to end the spot in the SEC championship for starters. A nice head-to-head on your tournament resume for the NCAA selection committee.
Yep.
th relief appearance for Sydney. Just over 2 innings of work here. And the infield pop-up. Pleasance has it one down.
Take a look at the way Sydney Berzon gets those outs. Well, she can move the ball through the zone. She's got a rise ball, but you can't just look up. She's also going to work that drop and curve away, then that drop that falls from your knees to the dirt. And then watch out, because she'll also mix speeds. She just has so many tools in that toolbox. To take a look at that, 16 1/3 innings, just has been a workhorse for LSU, and when the game is on the line, she's definitely who you want in the circle. Look at that, 237 strikeouts, 28 ground outs. That's what she does best. She rolls the ground out, uses that strong defense behind her.
Big right here with the top of the order, and Laird followed by Honnold and Gallagher. This is the engine of the Missouri offense. Laird so far 0 for 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside the line. Straightaway center. Briggs back. 2 down.
Puppy alert. Puppy alert.
Always draws a crowd.
Bark at the park. I suppose my favorite day when there's a bark at the park.
Honnold misses the off speed, 0-2. Ground ball to second. Petty is there. Quick work for Berzon. 1-all to the 6th. 15 seeds. Is it possible again this year? They also might get all 13 teams into the field for the 4th time ever. 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Sierra Briggs. A single and then lined into a double play. Not much room behind home plate here, so that one will get out. Marissa McCann trying to work through the heart of the order. First time they're seeing her in the dirt away.
McCann very efficient with her strikes. I mean, she just hammers the zone. It's one thing as a hitter, when you know the pitcher's through the zone, it's easier to attack. It's been great to see the development. It's one thing that Larissa Anderson does so well with her pitching staff. You know, really takes their strengths and hones them, and gets different members of that bullpen doing different things so that they complement each other, and that's the pitch. McCann has a very good changeup. She'll throw it at any count. She can throw it back to back.
Two. Briggs laces that one out to center. her second hit. Yeah, the leadoff of a fabulous women's basketball season. Ratings through the roof. Ooh. Popped up foul. The umpire, Marty Abazishan, tried to get out of the way. Give Crenshaw a shot at it.
He got in the way, but I mean, there's really nowhere for him to go. Tough play either way for Crenshaw to be able to make.
She's still a little salty about not catching that.
Yeah. Buying a little time. 0-1 to Mackenzie Rudity. Laid down a sack, effectively did LSU in the 5th inning, and that helped get their 1 run in, the 2-run double from Madison Manning after the sacrifice of Macy Bajaran. Swinging away here. 1-2. Gets the swing and miss. And the strikeout of Rudity. 1 down. Unproductive out.
A really good job by the freshman to come right back with the screwball in the outer half. Just gives up a base hit on an elevated changeup. Goes all hard after Rudity, and that screwball just really paints the corner on the outer half and runs away. Big strikeout, and as you said, Beth, non-productive out. Keeps Briggs at first.
Here's Gutierrez. Raylene, a ground out to the left side, a ground out to the right side. Now Crenshaw wants to talk to McCann.
Probably because the last 2 changeups she's thrown have been up. Gutierrez taking that pitch because she didn't want it, but I mean, that ball's gonna get hit. She keeps that up, so I think just having a conversation, hey, when I call this pitch, this just a reminder.
Yeah, and probably saying, look, trust me, throw it in the dirt, I got you. You know, with a runner on base, a lot of young pitchers try to think, oh, I can't put it in the dirt. I'll get away from my catcher, they'll steal. And all those things that go through your head as a young pitcher. Just get those demons out.
Briggs thinking about it at first. Teams have been able to run on Crenshaw this season.
You can see right now with Raylene, just her weight is transferring forward very quick. So even though that pitch was 66 miles an hour, she's way out in front of it. So you kind of see her maneuvering with her balance, her body weight to make sure that she's staying back. A lot of times when you want something really bad, you find yourself leaning and coming at the pitcher with your momentum. Gotta have that patience.
Oh. 2-2.
Changeup, I thought Briggs was going on that. I didn't know if maybe they had it picked. She took a really aggressive start at first.
Beth just threw her arms up. So I think she was supposed to go.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, she's going to go.
That's when you start. You just point to second. You're stealing.
Yeah, exactly.
Out to shallow center. And coming on to make the catch is Honnold. Briggs stuck at first, 2 down.
Yeah, out in front, even on the higher velocity stuff. That's the adjustment these LSU hitters have to adjust to. And honestly, to give Missouri a ton of credit, they're doing what the task is, disrupt timing. It hasn't really been a swing and miss type day for Missouri. It's been more about just missing barrels.
Yeah, just 3 strikeouts today for LSU. Again, one of the best teams in the country at not striking out.
Here's Taylor Pleasance.
And on the flip side of that, I'm actually surprised that LSU does not run more button runs, hit and runs, slap and runs, because they don't swing and miss a lot. And so that's really the type of hitter that you want up when you put your runners in motion. Missouri's a team that's got 46 errors on the year, create a little havoc.
Well, remember, too, LSU has played an extra game, that 14-inning affair. This is their 48th at-bat already in the tournament with a runner on base. They're only 11 for 47 so far. Pleasance with the biggest swing of all, the walk-off in the 14th to beat Bama.
They got to figure out a way right now to get Briggs over to second base, because Taylor Pleasance has been their best hitter, especially in this tournament, in those at-bats. And I think if a changeup is thrown, you're going to see Briggs with some movement.
Pleasance draws the walk, so that'll move her over. Runner in scoring position. That's the go-ahead now with 2 outs. For Allie Newland, doubled and scored in the 5th. She had one of their RBIs in the Tennessee win yesterday.
Newland's double was off a changeup. We'll see if they work her hard. Screwball away. That's the pitch. That's where I would go right there. Screwball away. Try to expand that zone, get her to keep chasing.
What's funny, it's a screwball, Smitty, but it's got just a tick of that up movement. All the swings for these lefties against it have been underneath it, because it looks flat, and then it ticks up there at the end.
Well, good screwball, Will, because you're coming underneath of it. The way you're spinning that, it's very difficult to make a screwball come back down. So the way that you really peel it off your fingers, I usually think thumb in to thumb out. It does have a tendency to ride a little bit up versus down. There it is again.
Sun could be an issue now on the right side as it sets lower. 1-2 to Newland. Waits on it. Deep fly ball, but room at the edge of the track for Langer. Couple left on, side retire. Sydney Berzon. And here is the showdown with Gallagher.
That was a rise ball right at the top of the strike zone that Gallagher hit out, of course, against Kelly Lynch, not Berzon.
8 straight retired since the home run ball in the 3rd inning.
And I love the way the first pitch was a drop ball inside. They're like, oh, we're going to go right at you, but we're going to pick the lower part of the zone.
And then a changeup away.
Yep. This should come as no. Nope, she got her.
Look at her. Wow.
Struck her out.
3 pitches.
1 down.
Drop in, change out, drop back in the dirt. Look at that over-the-top rotation. That is why she's one of the best drop ball pitchers in the game. She's got that true 12 over-the-top, 6 to 12 o'clock spin, and just takes her down into the dirt.
Sydney Berzon, too, she's so unpredictable. And, you know, Smitty, you talked about all the pitches that she can throw. A rise ball sometimes comes out as one of the best pitches that she has, but because she can go to the drop and the curve, she's got the changeup, and she spreads them out. It's not like there's one that you highlight, like that's her pitch. Every game against every opponent, it's different.
Yeah, and you heard Larissa Anderson talk about we have to split the zone. We have to, you know, find a place we're looking, and it's hard with Berzon because she has so many tools. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to split, I'm going to look low in, or I'm going to look inside, and then she throws away from you. It's just tough to split a hitter that has a lot of tools.
Yeah, Gallagher could have gone into that bat saying, all right, I'm looking for a rise ball, and Berzon never threw her one.
Yep.
Even though that's technically the pitch she throws the most.
Swing and a miss. There's a look at that strikeout pitch.
Drop ball.
Yep. What you got for us, Hallie?
Well, you know, Berzon threw 208 pitches in that 14-inning win against Alabama. So I checked in with the athletic training staff on how her recovery went after that. They did a lot of different things. A Thera X, which is cold contrast. A Mark Pro, which is stimulation for the muscles. Then they did massage. Then they gave her Cheribundi, which is tart cherry juice that helps inflammation. They paired that with magnesium to help her sleep. And then fluids on top of fluids on top of fluids. But she has looked good a little bit yesterday in relief, and here she is in relief again today. What an outing, but her body is well taken care of.
Nice.
And she's showing that, Holly, because it's one thing to throw over 200 pitches, and then it's another to come back 2 consecutive days and throw. And that's, to me, the most impressive part. As a pitcher, once they're warm, they can kind of just go, go, go. But she's been waking up. You could tell she's recovered. Teammates love it.
And if you really do kind of dissect those 14 innings, 208 pitches is not a lot for 14 innings. So that's basically 104 pitches for a 7-inning game. That would be a very efficient pitch count. So she's got great mechanics.
Ground ball to Pleasance. She'll gobble that up. Quick work again. We are win it here in the 7th inning. All even at 1 apiece. Purple Tigers, 1 run on 5 hits. The Gold Tigers, 1 run on 1 hit. The Gallagher home run. We've already had 3 walk-offs total here at the SEC. We only had 3 of those in the 3 years prior. We set records with a 14-inning game, then another 14-inning game that set a record for the what are the odds? Time that lasted over 4 hours.
Should have played the lottery.
3.5%.
Infield pop. So we're hoping the coaches might get together and decide for next year's tournament. Maybe we go to international tiebreak.
Maybe we just start throwing runners out there. I mean, Haley McClenny will do it. Tori. Where'd that runner come from?
They still got the young legs.
Jumped off of the set and ran over to second base.
They would take it.
Here's Madison Manning, a 2-run double in the 5th. To drive in the LSU run, scoring Allie Newland.
She has such limited at bats. Her batting average jumped 35 points in just 1 at bat. That hit.
That's amazing.
Out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Lays off the rise, 1-1. This is the bottom of the order for LSU. It'll be the bottom for Missouri as well. Shouldn't come as any surprise. All 3 of their games in the regular season were decided by a single run.
Both these teams known for their pitching. That's what they've done such a great job of, to be able to have their success. And of course, it's the timely hit. You get a game like this, and there's not a lot of offensive production. The biggest thing is moving runners and getting them into that position.
Time.
We got a timing violation on McCann. So that'll give a ball to Manning.
First one we've seen this tournament. No?
One earlier.
Oh, yeah, there was one earlier today.
Mine.
I think it was also
Yeah.
Right up against it.
Out to center field. Honnold. 2 down. Stick around for our second semifinal. That's coming up. Texas A&M and the Florida Gators. Aggies looking for their first SEC trip to the finals. And for Florida, one of, if not the best offenses in all the land. Hit 3 home runs in their win over Georgia earlier today. Texas A&M beating South Carolina in a walk-off this afternoon. Be interesting to see who both sides pitch. Both freshman pitchers had to get into that game against Georgia today, although Ava Brown threw a lot fewer pitches.
Yeah, and if you look at both Florida and A&M, they both have probably a distinct ace. Then they also have some good arms afterwards. Rothrock and Kennedy both were used.
Yeah, Kennedy threw, 129 pitches in the 7 innings against Carolina today.
It's been enough time. There's a good chance we see them both again.
Got all day tomorrow to rest up. First pitch in the championship isn't until 5 o'clock.
Eastern.
4 local.
You can't mess with me that way.
One, 2 to Carly Petty. Waste away.
Been a lot of fly balls late too for LSU. Their outs, the last couple innings have been strikeouts or fly balls.
Lost the grip on that one. Full count.
Top of the order on deck, Sierra Daniel.
They've already given Petty a free pass. Back in the 3rd inning, the number 9 hitter. Staying alive.
Just missed that one.
Good at bat too from Petty down here at the bottom. We saw it. Her last 2 at bats working the count deep. Seen a lot of pitches too.
9th pitch of this at bat. Three-2 from McCann. Lost her.
Couple of high changeups. McCann starting to lose that pitch up. And it becomes non-competitive when it is up as a ball out of the zone. When it's up and in the zone, it gets bashed. Best place to throw that would be in the dirt.
Well, you know, Larissa Anderson spotted that as well. They've had some activity out in the bullpen. Top of the order coming up. They together. Top of the order, Sierra Daniel. She and Sierra Briggs, who's on deck, both have hits today. That's in for a strike, 0-2.
Taylor Pinnell obviously coming in from the left side. So good against lefties. One of the best averages against them. Just 115 against her. 289 righties.
Daniel drops in fair, base hit. And that bumps the go-ahead in the scoring position for Sierra Briggs. And are they going to say that the runner left the base early at first, and that will end the rally.
Wow. Wow.
For LSU. Heartbreak for LSU, and now Missouri a chance to walk it off. So while we were away briefly, the challenge from LSU, it's under review, and she leaves way early. They are not going to win this review, and it will be the third out to end the rally.
And I think late in the game you have to, if you're not positive, I think you have to go ahead and use the challenge. So I like that Beth Torina decided, but yeah, that is way early. They're not going to overturn that. That's going to be upheld.
Wow, that is huge.
Yeah.
After review, the ruling is upheld. The runner did leave early. 3 outs. That's LSU's first challenge of the game.
Without a walk-off win all season, wouldn't this be a time for it?
Well, if they're going to win today, it will definitely be a walk-off. Right? It has to be.
Yeah.
We're in the bottom of the seventh.
Yes.
If they're going to win.
I'm doing the math. Carry the 2.
Okay. Doctor of letters.
Crenshaw, Daly, and Cahalan due up. They're at the bottom part of their lineup to face Sydney Berzon. A Maddie Gallagher home run in the 3rd inning is still the only hit for the Tigers. Until that one. Crenshaw is aboard as the game winner.
Beautiful job from Crenshaw. And this is a pitch kind of moving away, gets around it, barrels it up. It'll be interesting to see what Missouri does to move her over. Daly has 0 sack bunts on the season.
Squares.
That's what's so hard, you guys. I know we keep saying it, but when you've never done it all season long, and now, hey, big time pressure situation, it's good just to mix them in.
Well, wasn't that what you practiced? I mean, my first 5-10 pitches was always bunt, slap, power slap.
I think they practice it, but, you know, in a game, it's just different. Like, seeing spins. Usually you're practicing against BP pitching, and it's like, yeah, I can get bunts down all day.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on in.
I think, you know, the power slap has been underutilized in our game as well.
Pops it up, foul, and now it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's just not a comfortable look, you can tell. Completely missed the first one, and then that was a line drive bunt.
See if she can move her in some other fashion. Swing and a miss. Berzon sits her down. 1 away.
3rd strikeout for Berzon, and after a couple of opportunities to get the sacrifice bunt down, unable to. So they come back to the changeup on the outer half, and I like this call because you know she's going to be swinging away. Berzon just so efficient with that pitch.
Cahalan will try and drop it down. They've already used their best hitter off the bench, Katie Chester, in a pinch hit role. Cahalan, did she pull back? Yep, 1-1. Hitting just $167 this year with runners on base, and has 1 sacrifice bunt. Outside corner, 1-2.
And so I was just going to say, Jess, that's the pitch I would be looking for. If you run through slap or even just power slap that, you know your middles are running towards second. That leaves the 5-6 hole open. Where do you want the pitch? Outside, low and outside.
Comes back low and inside for the strikeout. 2 down.
Brazan just doing a good job of working both sides of play. So look at where this setup pitch is on the outer half. That's the pitch you want to go out. She doesn't, so what did they do? They come back on the inner half with the drop ball. Look at the rotation again. That ball just diving down mid-thigh to the ankles.
Haley Langer, the 9-hitter. If they can't pass the bat, then LSU would bring up their top of the order in the 8th. Slow roller to third. Manning's got it. Single but stranded. Top of the order for the Tigers. So Sierra Daniel actually put the ball in play, but since the runner at first base left early to end the 7th inning, it's as if that at-bat didn't exist. So she leads off.
Took away a single.
Yeah, she had a base knock.
Be bummed.
Tries to lay down the bunt foul. Sierra singled back in the 3rd, 1 for 3 today.
Ball.
1 and 2.
That's a great spot. I mean, even 0-2, ball or strike, just back her off. Sierra Daniel trying to come towards that third baseline with her short game.
Up and away from Pinnell.
She doesn't throw many innings, does she? Her season average is high. Her season short is 6.
Out to right. Fighting the sun is Langer, 1 down.
On to bat, number 88, Sierra Briggs.
This is our 3rd extra inning game of the tournament, tied for the 2nd most. The record is 4. We got a shot at it later. Of course, we've already had 2 14-inning games this tournament.
I think they
On the same day.
Yeah, I think those should count for 1.5 or 2.
Briggs sends that the opposite way. Well positioned for Cahalan. 2 down. Florida wants to get back at it. They were swinging hot bats earlier in a 9-4 win over Georgia. They hit 3 home runs. Skylar Wallace, a big day. Jocelyn Erickson, the newly minted SEC Player of the Year. Emily Wilkie with her first home run of the season. Their offense is rolling.
1 through 5 hitters, all SEC.
Yeah, that's a pretty good start to your batting order. Rudity off the end of the bat. Daly fires to first. Second chance coming up for Missouri to walk it off. Top of the order, including their all SEC bats, Laird and Honnold.
Sydney Brazan has been outstanding since coming in relief. She throws that drop ball 60, 70 miles an hour in the lower half of the zone. She can bend it to both sides of the plate. She can also mix speeds. Her 4 strikeouts have just been outstanding with that ability to use the lower half of the zone and get Missouri to swing over top of that pitch. Really efficient. 4 strikeouts, giving up just 1 hit, no free passes. Sydney Brazan, one of the best in the business at rolling ground ball outs and strikeouts at the lower half of the zone.
She'll have to beat the top of the order. Pleasance can't handle it. And the game winner aboard for the 2nd straight inning. The leadoff is on for Missouri.
Watch the pause. It was just a split second for Taylor Pleasance. Instead of reacting, going in, when you've got a short gamer, Jenna Laird, well, she can hit away as well. You have to be moving in and towards that ball. That split second is what cost the base hit and ultimately the bobble.
Honnold lays down a beauty of a bunt. Runners on first and second with nobody out.
I mean, that's just textbook, and especially because the corners know it's coming, but the speed of Honnold, the fact that she's able to deaden it, we talked about the inability to lay down bunts and move runners. Missouri is
377 wrist. She's also sack bunted 3 times.
Ball out.
That's some versatility if you can go yard and drop down the sack. If that's what they choose to do here.
first time they've had a runner in scoring position since the 2nd inning. And you can tell just right now how much more comfortable Missouri is in these type of situations. The takes that they're getting, yes, they're showing short game pulling back. They've done it a whole lot. It's a part of their game.
Boy, that's a lot of trust, too, in the freshman Abby Hay, who is on deck and has struck out twice today. That's bunted foul. But she is a 300-plus hitter on the season.
I think that the biggest thing in this situation is just more of how many more opportunities you have to score once that runner gets to third. Pass balls, errors.
And now a 2-strike count. They missed on a chance to sacrifice last inning. Never move the runners. And that bounces away, and that'll do it. That'll get the runners over. Laird to third, Honnold to second on the wild pitch. And now Maddie can take a whack.
Bergeron, catcher, typically so solid, but that ball well short of the plate.
Or do you just walk her? No, you let her swing. Deep center field. Back goes Briggs. The catch at the track. And a run scores for Missouri to walk it off. Their first of the season, and they are headed to the
Puppy alert. Puppy alert.
Always draws a crowd.
Bark at the park. That's always my favorite day when there's a bark at the park.
Arnold misses the off speed, 0-2. Ground ball to second. Petty is there. Quick work for Berzon. 1-all to the 6th.